everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. The lion. New man so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And you know what day it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's Hump Day! Happy Wednesday to you, baby. Hallelujah. And this is Washington Football Weekly. And you see who this guy is right here. The guy that's still floating on cloud nine. Because his South Carolina Lady Gamecocks are still riding high. My guy, Mr. Will Kramer. What up, Will?
That's right. Still the champs, man. All right. It's Wednesday. I've had a whole week to think about our team. Can't wait to do this, man.
Let's go. Hey, like you said, hey, the draft. It's here. Like, it is literally right around the corner. We are a week and a day away from it. I am excited. I mean, anxious, anticipation. What are we gonna do? Where are we gonna go? Do we trade back? All of this great stuff, and I'm so looking forward to it. Will, are you nervous at this time? I mean, we haven't really done much. We have a couple guys we're looking at. But are you nervous? Are you anxious? Or are you just like, let's get it over with?
I'm ready to get it over with. I'm ready for us to know. Did you know, Sean, that we are Kirk Cousin amount of days away from the NFL draft? We are 8 days away, Mr.
That Kirk.
Yeah. No, I'm at the point where I'll be honest. This is the least excited I've been for a draft class in many, many years. Yeah. And honestly, I think this is the least I've been since we drafted LaRon Landry back in 2008. I think to the point where I don't know. I'm willing, there's so many directions they could go that, there's whether they're staying put or moving, that I just want to see it happen so we can figure out what we're doing next. I'm almost more excited to see what we get in the draft so that we can figure out what we're going to do in the post draft free agency frenzy that we can have.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm feeling. But, and I feel like this is the most unpredictable draft in years. So that's where I think I'm just I'm so torn. It's I have no idea what's going to happen, where usually it's I kind of feel like the first 10 picks are scripted. And if they don't happen that way, then it's like when the Panthers drafted J.C. Horn, we're like, oh, what? Right. Threw everybody off, But this year I'm I have no idea what's going to happen. No idea.
Yeah, I'm excited. And being as this is our second annual draft anticipation type of show where we were talking about the draft and things like that. I don't know, from last year, I was pretty hyped last year. I was pretty excited. Let's see what we do at 19. Let's see where we go. Then obviously hindsight's 2020, but this year I'm similar to you, because in every mock draft I've done, I've seen different people go different places. Even at number one between Aiden Hutchinson and Evan Neal. You know what I mean? I've heard Walker getting into that spot. I've heard, a lot of what's his name for NC State, Ikem Aquanu. I've seen him go kind of high. So it's to your point, you really can't tell. You really don't know who's going where. And then we come with us right outside that top 10 pick, and it's right on that line. Do we make a move? Do we start trading this back to get some product? Because people are looking for things.
Who wants that guy that slides? Come get it from us. That guy that slides. Right. We're at 11. Come get it.
Right. Hey, Pittsburgh.
Yo,
we know you want to move up. Yo, thank you guys so much for joining us on Washington Football Weekly here on Wednesday night. We have a jam-packed show for you. We have guests coming on the show to give their predictions, what they think is going to happen for Washington at 11. But we don't only have Washington fans. We also have fans of some other teams. The Ravens are represented here. The Steelers. Even the Cowboys, ladies and gentlemen, even the We're going to see if we can get a Cowboy on here to talk about her boys, see if she can say anything positive about the team that's about to sweep her this year. Commanders out. Let's go.
Right. That's right.
Let's get it. Yo, real quick, as we start, we want to shout out some of the other people getting down, man. Some of the other people doing kind of similar things to what we're doing. Shout out to North Sports Dynasty. They also will be doing a draft show hosted by Alex Loosemore and Johnny Dean. Got to shout out my guy, Andrew Faubert. Definitely been moving mountains, doing big things with them. And with that, he's going to be stepping away just for a little bit, just to get his head right, man. You got to take care of your mental health. Got to take care of everything you got going on, man. So we want to shout out to you guys, man. Keep doing what you guys are doing. And especially, Andrew, man, hey, take your time, take a breath. Football will always be here, and we'll always be there to talk to you. Let us know if you need anything. But check them out, man. Keep supporting them. Keep watching them, man. They do great stuff. And again, like I said, they're going to be doing a draft show. And one of the things I love about them, they actually have a guy that's going to be in Vegas, and he's going to be live there, and he's going to be kind of like an on-the-scene, little analyst or, on-the-scene reporter. I love that idea.
Heck yeah.
That's dope.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Love the North Sports Dynasty. Kate said, Andrew is my spirit animal. Kate, I understand. I absolutely understand. But ladies and gentlemen, we want to get into it because like I alluded to, draft is over a week away. We are right around the corner. There's a lot of things that are happening, that are moving and grooving. We're going to figure out how it plays out. But before that, OTAs, man.
Yeah, football
happened. I'm excited because we had a couple notable appearances. Mr. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, and Terry McLaurin.
Interesting. Hey, this is good. This is good. Like, I'll tell you what, I go back and forth every single year when it comes to the storylines of, are OTAs important? Are they not? Is it going to affect week one? Maybe not a whole thing, but when it comes to team camaraderie, it certainly doesn't hurt. And more importantly, it certainly helps for us to be talking about people that are there, as opposed to people who are not there and having to talk, go into what does this say about their leadership? What does this say about their commitment? That type of stuff. So I think it's fantastic. Both of those guys did not have the year that we wanted them to have. So I'm excited to have them back in it. Whether it shows they're more hungry, less hungry, I don't know. But I'm just excited to have them on there. Get ready for a big season. I think they're both going to have turnaround seasons. And so I'm excited to have that. And obviously love seeing Terry there. He ain't asking, while he may want an extension, he's not asking to be traded like other players are. So it just shows how great of a person that he is, that he's still going to be in meetings. He's still going to be there, but he also knows, hey, there's a limit to how much participation I'm going to do here.
Right.
So I love it. I love it. What about you?
Yeah, no, it's a great show of character. You know what I mean? What has the news been just populated with recently? They've been talking about the big name receivers that are all of a sudden now looking to go out. You got Tennessee has AJ Brown, who now wants money. Debo, your boy from South Carolina that was in San Francisco, apparently he wants out of San Francisco. It's like, are you serious? And everybody coupled in Terry McLaurin with that. Obviously, we know we've been talking about this since last year. We need to get him paid. The earlier, the better. But still, there is a certain thing that goes along with holding out or, demanding your money. And it is skipping OTAs, skipping these workouts and things like that with the team. I'm loving that he's there. I'm loving that because it's optic. It shows the team, yes, I have this, and it's not hidden. We know that there's money issues and I want to get paid. I think everybody's on board with him getting paid, but he still shows up to work. So he's letting you know we're about this. This says something to the front office and it says something to the guys, something that no dollar amount, can measure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I love it.
I do too. Yeah. I mean, it just shows that, while he's wants to get paid, he's going to get it. He's still going to be a part of this team. He still cares about the guys that he's going to be around. One thing I misspoke on Let's Talk Football. I had mentioned something about, don't blame him because he saw Reuben Foster get hurt. I mentioned OTAs. I'm pretty sure that was actually minicamp in May that Reuben Foster got hurt. But regardless, it's the same thing where he's like, hey, listen, there's a limit to how much I can give you physically until, this contract gets signed. But like you said, I'm here. I'm in meetings. I'm a team captain. I'm a leader, and I love it. Love it from that guy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will say something about the other two, Chase Young and Montez Sweat. We've seen a lot of pictures of Chase Young, with him in the weight room or him lifting certain things and this and that. But the one thing we haven't heard is them. We haven't heard them chip and yapper. And the reason I'm making this point to say a year ago, we heard them a lot. A year ago, coming off that top 5 defensive year in 2020, they were sitting there, big money. Hey, we're doing this. We're breaking sack records. We're going to be dominating. And it totally had a fall off year. Obviously, the injuries and certain things happened, but still, when they were in, they weren't that force that we were expecting them to be. This year, you might see a couple pictures. You might see a couple stories about them, but it's hush. And I love that. I love that. They're not paying attention to us. Let's go just and back, do things, move slow, and just kind of play it the right way. Keep quiet and keep moving. And I think I can't call this, but I think they're taking a page out of the Terry McLaurin book. I'm going to be the guy that chases the interception down to the 1, run back to the sideline and say, hey, we got to get it together. Chase did his thing that first year and it was great. Montez Sweat, they were big and bad in everybody's face. I loved it. But you know what? They fell off last year. Let's bring it back this year. And we don't need to talk about it. Just be about it. So I'm with it.
I agree.
Oh, wow. Kate, stop. You know what? Tom might not make it through this full year. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I'm looking forward to this, man, and this is good. Let's get some positive news in Washington. And speaking of positive news in Washington, we've heard all the stories from last offseason about how the feds and the FBI and all that came because of our traders and the funky business that was going on in Washington. Well, we did make a move and brought back an old athletic trainer, Mr. Al Bellamy, he has 25 years of experience in the league with us and got to us the year after we won Super Bowl 1988, stayed with us for 13 years, was a part of that 91 medical staff that won the Super Bowl 26, and also had a good 12 years in Detroit. That's kind of the connection between him and Martin Mayhew, which I love. But then after that, he had 9 years over at Temple. So he's still been kind of in the medical game, being continually refreshing his knowledge on being a trainer. Because I'm not going to lie, Will, when I first heard this, when you first talked to me about this, one of the things you said was, he was a part of the 91 team, and I'm sitting here, Bubba Tire? Like, are we that strapped? Are we bringing people back like that? But I'm glad that he has been, working and being a part of some kind of football all these years. What do you think about this guy, man?
Yeah, well, I think it's important that you mention the Martin Mayhew piece. There's the tie. There's always a tie with this organization. Most of the time it's Carolina. Sometimes it's where Mayhew was. And so there's our connections to where did this guy come from? Because I didn't know who he was, to be honest. And me too, when I was like, oh, sweet, he was a Redskins trainer. That's awesome. Oh, in 91?
Right.
That's a long time ago. But any hire to me was going to be a good thing because we have a very, very, very bad track record here. And it became a big deal when we had the trainers that were there prior to Ron coming here. That's when Trent Williams got all upset because they downplayed, whether he had a tumor or a mass, he had a mass on his head, had to get removed. They downplayed it. Okay. So much so that also Alex Smith, after he broke his leg, he wanted nothing to do with the Washington staff. He was willing to have the physician, but not the trainer. That's a big problem to have. If these guys don't feel safe to recover and rehab with our trainers, how are you going to get people to stay or come here? Yeah. So Ron came in and he brought this guy that he knows from Carolina that started to improve things. Ryan Vermillion actually got a lot of praise the COVID years of keeping everybody safe and keeping everybody healthy. Remember in 2020, we had like one of the least amount of games missed because of COVID.
Yeah.
And how worried we were about how it could decimate our team. So he did a tremendous job of coming up with a system where players could come in and work out and leave, get all the work done, and do it in a safe manner. And then we found out in 2021 that the feds are getting involved in right. some things. And he's been doing some things on the side. And it's like, come on.
Right.
Can we please not have someone that like brings respectability and can just keep players around and keep players comfortable with? So I think we have that now. And so that's a good thing. This is a good thing. So let's hope this stabilizes our position and legitimize, I can't say that word.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that position for us too. So let's hope Al's here for a few more years.
Oh yeah. And exactly to your point. I mean, when the man that's nicknamed the Silverback, that every year is on the top 100 list, and sometimes he was our only player on the top 100 list. When he leaves your team and he openly sits there and says, they did me wrong. They did me wrong. They said, and this is not like it's a skin rash or something like that. This is like a cancerous tumor, something that was serious that they sat there and lied and downplayed and this and that. And it's just, among other things, it's just a black mark on our team. So I'm glad they were able to bring in somebody like this. One of the other things I love, Ron Rivera had some remarks about him, and he said one of the things that he loves is, he has the experience, but it's also he has the professionalism, which I think is huge. And he was saying these are the things that we're looking for in, and changing the culture and kind of building up something good here in Washington. So I love that he likes the pick. I love that this guy is, highly touted. He has a resume in the pros and in college. He's up to date, man. Hey, let this be a new move, new swing, man. Getting good guys in here doing good things. Let's see what happens as the year goes, though.
Man, this is a long culture change. I tell you that. Right. We're in year 3 and Ron's still talking about changing the culture.
Right.
My gosh.
Are we getting there, Ron? Are we one step closer? What are we doing?
Gosh, you hope so.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so glad you are here with us. Want to shout out a couple of people that are watching us. Kate is definitely watching, throwing her Tom Brady stuff in there. You already know that is. Got to shout out my guy. This is Eric Kelly, EK Holiday. My dude.
Oh, of course.
Eric?
Of course he's going to say Kyle Hamilton.
He's a big Notre Dame guy. You know that.
He's the biggest Notre Dame homer I've ever met.
Yeah, buddy.
He's tuning in. Great to see him.
Yeah, man. Yo, shout out to you, man. It's been a while. What's going on? So, yeah, no, definitely. And I absolutely love that pick. He's, top tier safety. So I love that. And hey, great segue, because what are we here for? We are here for the draft, ladies and gentlemen. But you've heard us. You talked back and forth with us the last couple of weeks. We've been doing this all off season, getting us ready for the draft. Now let's hear from some other people, and let's see what they have to bring to the table. And first and foremost, we got to bring in a guy that helped build this thing. He helped build this show, one of the original members of the show of Washington Football Weekly, who is represented in this little video right here.
Right. All right, man. Hey, I've been waiting a couple days to say this. We're back. We're back.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. We are definitely back here. I'm trying to tell you, I am as hyped as can be.
Yeah, buddy. Guess who's back? Ablo in the building. What's up, Ab?
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, always good at draft time. Always good. How you been, partner?
Hey, I can't complain, man. Taking care of the family, doing my thing. You guys are doing things, man. Keep it up.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Thank you. Now, Sean, I thought we were going to watch some clips from Herndon. I thought we were going to see a couple 3-4 yard ankle tackles.
Wow. Brought it back. Look, if we had number 33 on the draft board, his stock is rising. Moving up, baby.
All the way. All the
Let's
way.
go. But look, all right, let's get right into it. Let's get right into why we have you here. We know what we're here for. First and foremost, we have to ask this question. We want to know at this pick, who do you pick? If you know we're staying here, we're gonna talk about what other things we might want to do with this pick. But if we're staying here at 11, who are you taking at this pick?
Dude, you already know with me, I got a convoluted answer. I can't just sit there and just give you one answer, bro. So I'm gonna just sit there and maybe but I did take notes. So at 11, I see us going wide receiver. But I got Drake London. I even got Jameson Williams, and I have I'm growing on Garrett Wilson, guys. And to me, I think that's the route we take, especially with how Washington messes up on contracts with people coming up to their contract end. So, so I see them just like they did with Kirk, just like they did with Sheriff. I see them messing up contracts with Terry. And to me, that's why we go wide receiver. We prepare for him leaving. And honestly, we prepare for him leaving. I'll just keep it right there. Honestly, we do have to keep an eye open that Hamilton, his stock is dropping, so we do have a need at safety. So that definitely is something that we might consider ourselves. And honestly, I'll even throw it out there. Cornerback play is one of our I know it's not one of our needs, but it's one of those things that we could probably do better at. And honestly, you can't have enough high quality cornerbacks to me. So that's Derek Stingley Jr. And to me, those are my picks right there, guys. So
is there one that you want? You got one player that you would want?
That's another conversation right there, because that's what we're going on. It's like what we should do, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got a segue for what we should do. Let me introduce that when we get to that question, because I got something to go with that. So you named a lot of good players.
Yes.
What if at 11, who would you want? You're sitting at 11. Who would you pick? Which one of those guys?
And we're not trading back?
Right. Okay. Not yet.
Not trading back. I'm trying to tell you, man. I like the stereotypical number one wide receiver. I'm really confident in that. And that's Drake London. The dude's fast. The dude's big. Honestly, I think you need, especially with Terry on his last few years here, you need diversity. So you get Drake on one side, you got Terry on the other. Hopefully, Wentz is able to throw Terry on the move instead of just these like one-stop shot catches and then fall to the ground type of things that we've had the last 3 years with them. But honestly, if we are able to maximize the abilities of our wide receivers, it's a different show, guys. This is a different team.
Yeah. So you mentioned two guys I want to learn more about, because all of a sudden we have, I started hearing this too in the last day or two, Jameson Williams starting to creep up into that early part where for the most part, he's always been in the late first round. What has happened that's started him to get even more attention, especially since he's coming off that knee injury?
To me, I don't agree with it, guys. To be honest, honestly, it doesn't happen a lot. You don't ever see someone that gets hurt in the latter part of the college year, then enter the draft, and then all of a sudden they're a top 10 pick. It's not. It does not happen. But like he's apparently tied to Tyreek Hill, and the closer to draft, you guys know the closer the more talk there is, the more the more we're trying to make more sense of drafting him in the first and everything like that. To me, Jameson Williams is going to be top of the second. That's just that talent like that is just when you go in the first round, you want a guy that's going to start immediately. And
Right.
honestly, we all know Williams is not going to start to the middle of the season at best.
Right.
So like it's just to me it's not going to happen. Like we talk about it and everything like that. We love his we all agree he would have been probably wide receiver number 1 if he didn't get injured. But that's not the case. He is injured. So to me, all the talent that's top 5, top 10, and they get injured towards the end of the year, they end up day 2, top of day 2. So I do like Jameson Williams, but are we willing to wait mid-season at 11?
Right. I didn't realize that he's been training with Tyreek and making that connection. So that kind of makes sense then that he's coming up.
Oh, I meant that he's compared to Tyreek.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I don't know if he was training with him or not, but my man's is coming off of ACL, so he's still. I mean, he had the surgery and he's good. It looks like he's running. He's agile, but it's one of those injuries you got to take your time with, and you're not pressing yourself too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though he looks like he's walking around just fine, doesn't mean he's football ready. So we have to wait. We have to wait until training camp and all that other stuff to see how really good this man is. We don't even know. They might even say, "Hey, we don't want to rush you." We've rushed plenty of people, guys, and honestly, and it does not help one bit. And so, honestly, they might shut him down for the whole year at that.
So the other guy you mentioned was Kyle Hamilton. And I've heard that too, that he's starting to potentially slip. So at 11, he's the top safety in the draft. We lost Landon Collins. What would your thoughts be if they drafted him at 11?
History. We production on one side of the field give any hesitation. Not sure I've ever seen such a highly touted wide receiver only line up on one side. Now, you say he's only lined up on one side. Like, just because that's only in college does not mean that that's the only thing he does. You get what I'm saying? Like, we don't know if it's just a limitation just because of that one side, or if, they're like, look, you're only on Z side. That's all you're going to do, and that's all you're going to be. And we're not even testing anything out. Plain period. So I don't know so much about this question. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's arguing a top cornerback that only plays slot. He's still a top cornerback. Does he just because but he's still touted as one of the best, even though it's just that slot. But they don't limit him like, oh, he's not an outside corner or what, or how diverse he is. So I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Will. I was trying to read the question.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So you mentioned Kyle Hamilton potentially sliding, and he's the top safety in the draft.
Right.
How would you feel if that was our pick at 11?
To me, I don't mind that. I not one bit. To me, apparently he can play both safety spots, and diversity is Ron's game. He likes those boys that can play several spots well. And if that's the case, then I'm all for it, man. And last year's show, I was like all in on like Isaiah Simmons and everything like that. So to me, like, if he can play like a like a free safety, a long safety, and jump into middle linebacker, like hybrid type of deal. Oh, I'm all about it, guys. Like that, I'm all for it. And he's sliding, but honestly, like if everyone recognizes that he has talent, you're not going to sit there and shit on this man because he has a bad test score. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody that plays football knows there's these like measurables. Yeah, that matters somewhat. But then there's football speed. And honestly, football speed, like you cannot, like there's not a measurement for that. There like the timing, there's no like the angles, there's no test for that. And to me, I honestly, if he checks all those boxes on the field, don't second guess this man because he's not running the 4.4 40s. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're right. But that was one of the things about Kyle Hamilton, that his pro day was different from the combine, his 40. And that's one of the reasons she's dropping. It's like, really? This man has been balling out. What happened to all the game film that we saw from this past year? It's kind of crazy that the combine and all these tests we do switch up people's ideas. But look, we know that you don't want to make this pick at 11.
No.
So go ahead and tell us what's your ideal draft look like?
Guys. Okay, so how many picks we got in this draft, guys?
Do we have 5?
Yeah.
6.
We have 6. Okay.
6. We have 6 picks in this draft. We have no third in this year's draft or next year's draft. We have no 5th round draft pick. And so I'm just put this in perspective, guys. That's about 70 picks between the 2nd and the 4th. 70 picks between the 4th and the 6th. That's a lot of players, guys, to not be picking. You know what I'm saying? And to me, like we need to get some more draft capital back.
Yeah.
And to me, we're trading back. Oh, we're trading back. And honestly,
how many times?
If it's up to my manipulation, guys, if it's up to my manipulation, you guys, like honestly, I'm gonna upset some fans out here. Watch. I'm trading Terry McLaurin in the 1st round.
You just got me. No, I'm out. No. Where's the mute button on this guy?
Really?
What?
I'm trading Terry, y'all. I'm trading Terry.
Huh?
So to me, so I wrote this down. Our biggest trade chips, okay, is Terry, our 1st round pick, and at the very least, at like honestly, last hope is Montez Sweat. And to me, Montez Sweat isn't even there yet. Like, you know what I'm saying, where we need to be making that decision as of yet. But Terry, I told you guys last year, tell me if you guys remember me saying this. We need to sign Terry sooner or later, or we're going to risk overpaying for this man.
Yep.
And we're at that point where we have to overpay for this man. And to me, I love Terry. I love what he's done. And honestly, this is the first time that I think he'll have a chance to actually excel, to show that he's one of the top wide receivers in this league. But I just don't like how we negotiate contracts, guys. I really don't. I'm upset that we weren't able to trade Kirk Cousins. I'm upset that we weren't able to trade Brandon Sheriff. Like, we should have done that 2 years before their double franchise tax. So I think we're going to mess this up just like everything else, guys. And you guys, and a lot of people are like, Terry's a good man, Terry this, Terry that. No, this is a business. Y'all should not expect this man to be a good man when it comes to his money. Like, I don't understand that. Like, everyone's always in a player's pockets and being like, well, he'll take a hometown discount because he's a leader. Shut up. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like this is his first contract.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's already proved what he needed to prove to be one of the top paid players here. So we're going to sit here and shit on this man because he starts flexing the muscle that he does have? No, I don't think so, man. I don't blame him if he starts flexing. Honestly, I wish he would. I really wish he would. So to get what he deserves. To me, he deserves a team that has a consistent quarterback, guys.
Mm-hmm.
He really does. We don't deserve this, man. We can't even get a wide receiver on the other side for him to get the double, triple, quadruple coverage off of him. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, he deserves another team. It's my team. I love him, but we don't deserve him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but to answer your question, we trade up. I would say probably, like, if I'm thinking correctly, Jets like wide receivers. They might want an established wide receiver. Green Bay wants wide receivers. They have 2 later first round draft picks. Kansas City needs wide receivers. They might toss into their top their 2 late round first round draft picks. To me, guys, honestly, this is too easy. And like, honestly, Kansas City or Green Bay, toss in your first round draft picks, those late first round draft picks. We'll give you Terry, and we start anew, guys.
I can see it.
Especially in a deep wide receiver draft.
Right.
Well, I can tell you this. I won't wake up happy on Friday morning if that happens. Even if we draft a receiver to replace him, I will not wake up happy should that happen.
Yeah, it'd be rough. But look, real quick, before we let you go, man, give us a couple guys. You were talking about trading back. You're talking about going ahead and getting those picks, getting the first, trading back or getting more picks. Give me 2 guys that nobody's talking about. Give me some sleepers that you really hope Washington gets, but that, it's not going to be in the first round. Maybe, what you got?
All right. So we know you can't draft a quarterback in the first 2 rounds, and Carson Wentz is not going to get shook off of. So
right.
To me, I think we do a Kirk Cousins, guys. We draft a quarterback in the 4th round. I've been saying this for a minute, guys. We need to draft Bailey Zappi. And honestly, it looks like he might go 4th roundish. We do have a 4th round draft pick, guys. So I say we try using it there. There is a linebacker, since I think we do need linebacker. There's a Leo Chenal, 2nd round. This dude might, like I told you guys in your prior show, this guy might be the white Micah Parsons, bro. Like, honestly, like he's diverse, and I think we should just let him roam, just like we're trying to get Chase Young to do. So that is we need a guard. I think a Dylan Parham from Memphis. That is very doable for. That's another 3rd, 4th round pick right there. If we're not trying to go linebacker too soon, there's a JoJo Demand from Nebraska, 4th, 5th round. He's like a hybrid linebacker, safety, cornerback. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, like, he's about 230. So honestly, that's a little small for like middle linebacker, but he has the like ability to chase the running back all over the place that Ron Rivera wants out of that middle linebacker that Jamin Davis wasn't able to do. Safety. I'm going Kirby Joseph or Nick Cross, guys. So they'll keep those guys. More so Kirby Joseph. He plays longer. If we don't go Kyle Hamilton at 11, Kirby Joseph in about the third round, that is the pick to go to.
Where's he from?
Illinois.
Okay. All right. You named a whole bunch of players that I'm not as familiar with, so I will certainly on draft night be looking to see when those guys get hurt. You know this stuff. You've dove into this stuff way more than I have, so that's awesome. I have a question for you.
Oh, let's go, brother. I got answers.
Okay. It has to do with you're big on compensation. All right. So we've got Deron Payne last season of his deal.
Right.
Chance we could extend him or trade him. Well, it's kind of hard at this point to trade someone on the final year of their deal. If we let him play out this season and sign somewhere else as a former first round pick, he could net a third round compensation pick. So that would be what, number 33, 34, 35, whatever, that. So in between that third and fourth round. What do you think we should do with Deron Payne? And if we let him go and you receive that third round pick the following year, not in the 2023 draft, it'd be 2024. So it'd be time. Would you think that is okay compensation for him? Or do you think this is continuing to be like franchise malpractice?
So, guys, I think the waiting for compensatory pick, like I think that is just bad because you're in hopes of you're basically because it also has to do with the way you handle free agency that year also. So if the league says that okay, you let Deron Payne leave and he's worth at the highest a third round pick, and you make a lateral move for someone that's worth a third round pick too, that cancels out each other, guys. So, like, to me, like, especially in a formula that you don't even know, that is the dumbest shit that I've ever seen in my life. If you don't know what the league is looking for when they're making this formula on how they're judging compensatory picks, why even play it? Why even go there? What you do is like honestly, even if you have to bundle a package together and send them somewhere to get a higher pick, that's what you do. That is simply what you do. And so to me, Bill Belichick has always been the master at this. He's always been able to trade somebody before their decline, and he gets top dollar for them. We need to learn what he is doing
mimic
and
that,
apply it to our team. And literally, like Deron Payne, he's on this like, and we hold on to players way too long, and it's not even necessary to do that. Like we should have, like I said, I'm being redundant now, but we should have traded Kirk Cousins on when we franchise tagged him the first time, and Brandon Sheriff, we should have traded him when he signed his tender the first time also. If they show that they don't want to be here, trade them. Period. Like what is this? Like to me, and because they know the best that they're going to get is a third round pick. Kirk Cousins. Word is we could have gotten a first rounder for him.
Number 2 overall.
Yeah, but we got greedy and wanted more. You know what I'm saying? Now not so much for guard, because guards, even when you package them, they don't even go for a first rounder. So, but still, whatever you could have put together would have been better than a maybe third.
Right.
And then at the same time, guys, it stalls your free agency. Like we can't have a normal free agency because we don't want to we don't want to damage that third, that maybe third that we're going to get for Brandon Sheriff. Like, how do you operate as a team like that?
Yeah.
I hear you.
I get it. Absolutely, man. Yo, it is always good to have you on the show to break down this thing that we do, talking about this team that we love, man, and dealing with all the craziness.
He dropped knowledge when he came on here.
Right.
Told us all about these players who I've never heard of. I've only heard of Chanel because my family lives in Madison, Wisconsin, and have season tickets. So he made every GD tackle on that team.
Yeah. Now look, there's only one pick that I had took issue with, and that's that guy Nick Cross from Maryland. Ain't nobody good came out of Maryland, so let's just
look. I like Nick Cross because of his speed, but at the same time, I don't want him to be another Troy Aki. So honestly, like, we drafted him literally because he was the fastest person in the draft that year, and I don't like that. Like, he's just a glorified special teamers now. So to me, like I said, that's why I dropped down. We need to get that Kirby Joseph. He's actually legit, and we like lean on that guy. Like, he might be our filler at the free safety spot, guys.
That'd be great.
I can love that. Let's go. I love it. All right, man. We gonna let you go. Bring on some other people. Appreciate you, buddy. Yo, the door is always open. You know it.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a great show. Keep it doing the good thing, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
it, bud. Yeah, buddy. Yo, so we have got to move on. We got many more guests coming, and we're going to move right down the list to the man that predicted exactly what we were going to do last year. Was spot on. Didn't pan out, but our guy Jack Niedermeyer.
Oh man,
shaking his head on con entry.
Thanks for the welcome, Pat or Sean. I appreciate it, man.
You predicted the bust.
I did.
Predicted the bust.
No.
I hadn't even heard of that guy last year. You're like, yeah, Jamin Davis, he's gonna do it. I was like, okay.
Sports talk radio, man. They're hyping the guy up. They say he's pro ready, a little bit raw, but turned out to be a lot more raw than I thought. That's for sure.
Yes.
Too raw. Yep.
Well, let's go, Jack. Let's try to go 2 for 2, man.
Okay.
You're the GM. You're at 11. You're not trading back. You're sticking right here. Who do you go for?
So I've been looking at the draft order lately, and I love the Kyle Hamilton pick. I just don't think he's going to be there. I think there's going to be a lot of hype going on here, like like you guys were talking about, like a little bit slow in his 40 time. Watching the tape, looks a lot faster than he does at his straight line speed, which is doesn't really say a lot about a player in my mind. But you got the Jets with 2 picks, you got the Giants with 2 picks ahead of you. Like I don't see him getting passed out of one of those teams, but we'll see what happens. But honestly, a guy that I've been paying attention to lately that's really catching my eye is Trent McDuffie out of Washington. He can play outside, he can play nickel. They're even comparing him to the honey badger in a way with the instinctive type of play. So you could potentially move him to safety. He's a sophomore. He's young. Knocked out his interviews during the combine. There's a lot of good stuff. Like I think he's going to be rising up. Like right now they have him like slotted as like the number 2 or number 3 corner, behind Stingley and what's his name? The guy
Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner. So yeah, so I'm liking it. I'm liking that at 11. Like Abdul, I'm hoping they trade back. I really hope they do. I was looking at a mock draft today. They had him trading back twice. Imagine that.
Whoa. Was this mock draft done by Abdul Lowe?
Right?
Yes, it was.
Because if you could see his mock drafts, not only does he trade back 2 spots and gets one team's entire draft, then he trades back 2 more spots and gets the other team's entire draft. And he goes into this season and next season with 15 picks each.
Let's go.
He fleeces the league on the draft.
That's
the
how
draft
you do
network's mock drafts.
You're doing Madden style.
Yeah,
you got to move some outside linebackers to defensive ends to up their overall ranking. And
there you go.
Draft capital that way.
Right.
better first
That's
round.
the secret.
First round pick.
Now you said Trent McDuffie. Sean, did you not mention these guys from Washington last week?
Those
I
corners,
was not
Trent
as familiar, but I thought that was one of the names you said.
Marcus
Trent
Peters,
McDuffie and Gordon. Yeah.
Yep, Gordon. Yeah, Gordon as well. Yeah, they got the nice combo there. So I could see that happening. I could see that happening. They do have a need at wide receiver, but I just, oh man, like Jameson Williams, I don't think he's going to play most of next year. Like his recovery time with him, getting that injury in the national championship game, he's going to be sidelined for like 3/4 of the season.
Right.
So I don't think you can't use a first round pick on that. You got to get, like, if you're going to go wide receiver with the 11th pick, you got to get a weapon for Wentz that's going to be able to contribute this year. Like you can't just stockpile a pick for next year. So I could see them going like Drake London, who I also think that is not going to be there. Garrett Williams, perhaps, but I think I've talked to Will about this. He's kind of a clone of Terry McLaurin anyway. Like you're kind of going with a very similar skill set there, but they might be in better grounds than we think on the wide receiver grounds for next year with Curtis Samuel hopefully coming back fully healthy. Brown hopefully be able to actually contribute now that you got a guy that can actually get it downfield to him.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know if you necessarily need to, put another pick in at wide receiver. I've been looking at the depth chart for Washington, and I'm just scared that they're going to get, someone's going to get hurt on the, one of the stars is going to get hurt on the offensive line, linebacker, corner. Like you got no one to back them up, and so that's my main concern. I've been looking at a couple different linemen, like who will most likely go in the first round, like a guy like Tyler Linderbaum. Yeah, he looks promising. Like there's even a potential he can drop out of the top 10. But luckily we're pretty much set at defensive end, which is nice. Like I think those guys, will probably eat up some picks in the top 10. So hopefully one of these guys will fall to us. We'll see. But Stingley, Sauce Gardner, any of those guys, I'd snatch them up at 11.
So you would go corner before wide receivers, what you're saying?
I would. Yeah, I
would.
would.
Yeah.
Okay.
You brought up a good point right there about our wide receivers. And that's the one thing I wonder, like we as fans look at the roster and say, we need to do better at wide receiver. What we don't know is what's happening inside that building and what they saw last year. And it's like, there is a chance that they could be saying with the return of Curtis Samuel, with a quarterback who can get Diami the ball, they have enough weapons at wide receiver that it's not a first round need the way we think it is. So I kind of, that's, like Sean, you asked, like, what am I thinking with this draft? It's like, this is where I'm like, I'm so mind blown right now as to what we're going to do. I just have no idea. Cause I think like wide receiver would be the best value here because of the chance to have him for a 5th-year contract, seeing what we're getting right now with Terry, with Debo, with AJ Brown, guys who only had 4-year contracts and now want to get paid. Like there's a value in that 5th-round pick, that 5th-year option.
Yep.
But that's what we see. We don't know. They may be looking at just saying like, nope, we need a different position. So I don't know.
I'm with you. And I saw the news that Debo might be available. So right when I saw that note from ESPN, I'm just like, trade all your picks for Debo. Get Debo on here.
Get him all.
Yeah. Pay the man. Pay the man his money. Get him over here.
Give him what he wants.
Okay. This whole guest show thing may need to be short-lived.
You want this? He's from South Carolina. Like
the fan came out of me. Will the fan took over my head. I'm just
we
like,
got
Debo.
Ab saying he's going to trade Terry McLaurin. We got Jack saying we're going to give up the farm for Debo.
Every
Let's
play.
go.
I don't know about these guest shows anymore.
Debo,
what are we doing
Debo's
here?
hands every play.
That make me crazy.
We're all crazy. Like, what is
This is why I'm only in the show, like, once every couple months.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? To that point about the wide receivers, we also have to remember, we talk about we have a quarterback to get the ball to a Diami Brown or to get the ball and having a Curtis Samuels back. Let's remember, we also got McKissick who decided to stay with us. What up, Janae?
Good point. Yeah.
And he is a big part of the passing game, as well as a healthy Logan Thomas, and then you have also Bates, who has proved he's very sore-handed. I think I think to y'all's point that we maybe look at it like we didn't have X, Y, and Z, and we need to improve here. But at the same time, it's like we do have pass catchers that are pretty solid for our team. And now our hope is that we have a quarterback. Now there is another quarterback that is available deeper in the draft from Tar Heel U, but we're going to get into that in a little bit.
By the way, I heard he's got double jointed thumbs, and that's messing with his draft stock. So
Hey, look, that's fine. Let him
Sorry.
slip. That's fine.
You got to pass on that guy. He's going to fumble the ball every snap.
Come on, man. Yo, so look, so you alluded to before that what you wanted to do was trade back. Obviously, we're not going to do the ultimate Madden trade where you traded everything back for all the different players. But what exactly does the ideal draft look like for you outside of the trade back? Like, what are you thinking?
You gotta put some depth in. Like, you gotta put some guys behind,
Today, being
Right, we're here. We're not going anywhere. You hear that?
I know. I'm pulling all the old stuff out of the closet.
Right.
Always.
Melissa doesn't like me wearing it, though. I hope she knows.
But,
Don't tell him. I can't talk about this outside of here. But
That's why you got the
I know.
right
She
there.
comes down here. Just you cover up a little bit.
we'll
But,
cut this part out of the show. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, don't send her the copy of the podcast. But yeah. So it's just they got needs at linebacker. They got needs at line. Like you get rid of Sheriff. I forget the name of the guy that they brought in from the Commanders South. Like, what's the name of the guard that they brought in?
Norwell.
Panther. Norwell. Yeah, I don't know much about him. But they're trying to hype it up like he's basically the same state as Sheriff, and I doubt it. Like, if there's no interest to him in the offseason, I don't know why they're kind of trying to make me feel better about it. But you got to go with the positional needs. Like, again, linebacker, defensive tackle is another one you need. Like, beyond them letting Settle go this year, and gosh, who's the other guy they let go?
Ioannidis.
Yeah, Ioannidis. Thank you. So yeah, you got a lot of needs, and I really feel like they handicapped themselves by giving all those mid-round picks for Wentz. Another thing that kills me is dropping back in the second round, just swapping your second round picks. I've got a couple guys I'm been keeping my eye on. Like, you got, if they can trade back, you can still get that wide receiver help later on, later in the first round, like maybe a guy like Traylon Burks, who's been a lot of people have been talking about, or another guy that's I've been kind of hearing about is out of Cincy, Darian Beavers, like a guy that can play inside, outside linebacker. He used to play safety, defensive end, another guy that he could really plug and play at a couple different positions if someone gets hurt. You got what's his name? Fedarian Mathis out of Alabama. Another Alabama defensive tackle you could pencil, pick up in maybe the third or fourth round. I know they don't have a third round pick, but if you can get an additional third rounder or something like that, you can get something like that. And you got a guy out of Columbia, South Carolina, named Channing Tyndall, inside linebacker out of Georgia. So looked actually pretty good on that Georgia defense. I know they have a lot of studs on that defense last year, but there's a lot of depth you can get later on, but it kills me they don't have some of those picks. So, but ideally, I think you got to go with your basic needs. Otherwise, you're just a couple guys getting hurt away from losing those close games. So, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't think you need to draft a quarterback this year. Yeah, I just don't see it. But and if they do bottom out, then we're going Bryce Young next year.
There we go.
Yeah, you keep bringing that up. That seems to be your hope. We got our franchise quarterback for under $30 million for the next 3 years, guys. What are you talking about?
I don't think so, man. I don't know. I keep on hearing about he's a terrible locker room guy, not a natural leader.
You don't need to be a leader if you win. He's just going to throw bombs. 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns game. He doesn't need a lead.
Just chuck it up there
with those deep balls. Terry can do the leadership. I just need you to throw touchdowns.
Okay.
I just need him to show up on game day, give me a cool 250 and 2 TDs, and he can go right back into not saying anything. All right, I'm good.
It's good.
Okay.
Let Terry be the leader. Carson just needs to throw touchdowns.
All right. Well, Terry's also not attending, not going to be practicing for a while here. So I don't know if that's the guy you really want to be setting the example for the team. But I don't know. I don't know. It seems like it's becoming more of a players' league, and guys aren't playing, and they're asking for a trade immediately if they're not getting if they're not getting what they want. So I don't know. I guess it's becoming the NBA. So I don't know.
A little bit.
Yeah. Great point.
So you kind of already mentioned it.
Yeah.
But what would be? I'm gonna try and Trunk. You put up that banner. The next question. I'm trying. I can't do it with my mouse. Yeah. So, is there anyone else that you haven't mentioned that outside of the first round you want us to go after? Like you're sitting there going, if in the second round you want us to get this, or if we make a trade back to the third round, you're hoping we go and get this guy. Who would it be?
So right now I'm looking at I think I kind of spoiled my picks here. Like I got a guy, George Pickens out of Georgia, a decent receiver, good speed, good size. Tore his ACL last year, so he didn't really play much. I think he probably would have been a late first round pick, early second round pick if if he didn't get hurt. Not a ton of targets. I think he only has like about 150 over his whole collegiate career, but they're saying with those intangibles, like he can, his best football's ahead of him. And then, Darian, I really like Darian Beavers, man. Like that versatility. He's got good size. 4.0 at Cincinnati. Seems like he's a good study, which is great. Good work ethic.
All ACC selection in 2021.
There you go. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. Got some good tape on him. Looks like he can move around pretty well for a guy that's, close to 240, 250. I'd love to get a guy like that. Another thing that really concerns me a bit, but I don't know if you could really get this in the draft, is tight end. Yeah, like I know it's kind of a weak tight end class, but I was actually listening recently, and they're saying that like having a pass catching tight end out of the draft it's a pretty rare occurrence. I understand it's like one of the harder positions to play in football. You got to block, especially for a receiving tight end. You got into the offense, like it's pretty tough. So I'm also thinking like right now Logan Thomas isn't scheduled to be back till week 4. So they're saying, of course, he wants to be back in week 1. Right now, they're saying he's just doing like light jogging. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be ready or not. I also know that when they repaired his injury, they actually went in and basically reconstructed his knee. Like he had a meniscus injury from his Buffalo days from a couple years back. So I don't know what that means. But
so who would you get at tight end then? Who are you looking at?
I'd actually look at getting a free agent. Like I'd pick up a veteran. So I guess it's kind of, is outside of the question you guys are asking me, but there's still some decent tight end or not prospects, but, tight end, free agents out there. You guys like, I doubt Gronk would come here, but like, you got like, Kyle Rudolph, like what Jesse James, like, you got some middle tier guys that, could definitely be serviceable, but.
So you don't trust any of the guys coming out of college?
I don't know
like
anything about
or Kohler or
I don't know anything about these guys. I know they're not worth a first round pick. That's for sure.
No.
But,
no. Listen, if you want yourself a pass catching tight end, the guy you need to go after.
Same as
and I don't know his name. I can't pronounce his name. Chigoziem Okonkwo.
Oh yeah.
At the University of Maryland.
Oh my goodness.
Come on.
That's who you
need
to
We're not going to
after.
be the Washington Marylanders. All right.
If you want a pass catching tight end, if you want the next Jordan Reed, this is who you need to go for.
Okay. Got it. I'll look for his name on draft day. I'll look for it and I'll wait for them. Yeah, just
pay attention. And don't worry about draft day because he's going to be underwhelming on draft day.
Okay.
In season. That's when you'll thank me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So there's a lot of free agent tight ends this year to at least get one and then hold you over. Yeah.
Yep. That's where I'm at. Yeah. You can grab somebody off the heap for now and just, have them at least for like another 4 or 5 weeks. Hello, good Thomas is back.
Okay. Let's go. I don't need to know his name.
I hate great things.
Homer Will. Love it.
Yeah.
That's why I love coming on here and trying to bring you guys back down to earth a little bit.
Mr. Whatchamacallit.
Oh, man.
I love it.
Yeah. But off season wise, like I've got a bad feeling. Like if Wentz comes in here and sets the world on fire, that's great. I just don't know after what we saw last year. Like it could, Wentz could come out there and light it on fire, and like I would be pleasantly surprised. I know with the season that he had last year, like he looked good, but I also think he was on a better team. So I don't know, but yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'd love to see a guy like Drake London, like land here, like very similar to Michael Pittman. I could see that he's basically his number one target in Indianapolis last year, so I could see that being a nice connection.
Good point.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm still thinking, middle of the round, first round pick next year. I just don't see him making to the playoffs next year. I just can't see them beating out Dallas. But
right,
we'll see what happens, man.
Right.
And
no, don't say that. We got a commenter that's gonna pick up on you saying we can't beat Dallas. It's coming.
Yeah, let's move on from that. Let's move past that. We will beat them.
Okay.
There it is.
If Dak gets hurt again, yeah, we could do it.
Oh my goodness.
She heard it.
My goodness.
She heard it.
Yeah.
You know what? It's almost a draft. It's almost a new season. I'm sick and tired of y'all. Come on, Alex. Come on.
Look. I'm just trying to bring a drop to realism to this cast, man. I see you guys just floating around, and then as the weeks progress, it slowly but surely you guys finally realize what this team really is, and I'm just trying to bring it to you a little bit earlier this year. So
makes us feel better, Jack. We like to be positive vibes here.
It's good to be in touch with reality, guys, because you're setting yourself up for a big disappointment every single time. I talk to you like every week, Will. It's like, yeah, it's this year. Week 6, week 7, week 8, slowly but surely, reality sets in, and we can actually have decent conversations about the realistic expectation of this team.
Yeah, that's right.
So no Super Bowl this year.
Maybe not. Maybe not. They might, they might win the NFC or make it to the NFC Championship or something like that, right? Will, but yeah. I don't see him. I just don't see him. Making that next step this year. Maybe not. Maybe next year. But we'll see.
Yes, my guy Jack Niedermeyer again coming on here. Who knows? We'll find out next Thursday if he again predicted what Washington will do in the draft. Hopefully so, but hopefully it didn't turn out like it turned out last year.
If you're going to predict it, make sure that they hit, okay? Just please do that. Don't be the predictor of busts.
Right.
I can't help it, man. Trent McDuffie,
there it is.
I like that.
Trade him back. We're trading with Pittsburgh with that 11th pick. Trade him back, 20th pick.
That's a perfect segue, Jack. You have no idea how you just set up that segue.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. My man, Jack Niedermeyer. Appreciate you being on here, my guy.
Pleasure having you.
We'll definitely see you next time, my friend.
Good talking to you, bud.
Later, guys.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a perfect segue because we got another guest coming.
Uh-oh.
So all right. We also bring fans on from all over. Hold up. Did it freeze on me?
It froze, but we're good now.
Let's see. Will, you still there?
I am.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So we don't always only bring on Washington fans, but we bring on fans that are from other teams. This guy's team made it to the playoffs. I had to shout him out later in the year, even though his running back took my title away from me in fantasy. My guy, Mr. Sidney Swinton. What up, Sid?
What's going on, guys? How we doing today?
Doing well,
man. How you been?
I'm chilling, kicking back, watching you guys keep saying that you want to trade the Steelers. And if you look at my name right now, it is don't trade up. Because
don't trade up.
Don't want to do.
I loved it. I saw as soon as you logged
in.
Wait, what's the name?
Don't trade.
I started laughing.
I knew you guys were going to talk about that because we're linked to you guys, but I do not want to trade up, and that is, I will not be happy if that's the case.
Let's go with it. Let's just go into it. Tell us more about it then.
Why I don't want to trade up or what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because, okay, this is my biggest pet peeve when it comes to the draft for any team or any player. When it's during the college season, even before the season, even right after the season ends, and then you have your guys ranked and who you think is going to be in the draft, the top 10, who's going to be the top 20, the best quarterbacks overall, blah, blah, blah. So as soon as all that happens, none of these quarterbacks are supposed to be top guys. They're all supposed to be, they're great. They're graded for second, third round picks because they're not good. This is a bad quarterback draft. But every year, anytime this happens, teams get desperate. They need quarterbacks, and all of a sudden, Kenny Pickett's going 6th. Malik Willis is going 9th. Desmond Ritter's now in the first round. Sam Howell's now in the first round. It's like, what the heck just happened? None of these guys were first round picks. Why are they first round picks now? And that's exactly what's going on. The Steelers, the people think that the Steelers are desperate, and they're going to trade up. And no, so my thing is, I was all about Mitch Trubisky. If you ask Sean, 3 weeks before we even signed him, I wanted Mitch Trubisky. I wanted him to be my guy. This year, I think he's super underrated. He took that Bears team and Coach Nagy to a 13-3 season, won a playoff. I mean, our team is more talented than that Bears team. So I truly believe Mitch Trubisky is gonna be enough for us because we aren't a team built that the needs to have a quarterback carry us. We have a great defense and a great running back. That's what our team goes through. We don't need a great quarterback. That's as of right now. Now that could change in the next year or two when the quarterback class gets better, and that's why I don't want to trade up. We have other needs. Sit where we're at. Don't trade our future for one of these guys that shouldn't even be a top 10 pick.
So you just don't want a quarterback in general. It's not you don't even want to trade up. You don't want at 20 for them to be picking a QB.
So if I had to pick myself, no, I would not want a quarterback. Now, I won't be mad if we do take a quarterback at 20, but we just sat and it fell to us. I don't want to trade up because now you're giving up more draft capital and more players for somebody that I don't want. I mean, if Kenny Pickett falls to us because his hands are small, okay. If for some reason Malik Willis falls to us because nobody wanted him for whatever reason, I'll take him. If for some reason the Steelers see the future and Desmond Ridder is the next Patrick Mahomes and that's who we take at 20, okay. I mean, I'll get over that as long as we didn't trade up to do it. I mean, my dream scenario is a receiver or Jordan Davis, a cornerback. Those are our needs right now. An offensive lineman, I wouldn't be mad at all, but quarterback. So we do need a quarterback now, especially with RIP Dwayne Haskins. We only have 2 on the roster with our 4th guy signing with Cleveland. So I think there's zero doubt we're taking a quarterback. Now it just depends on where. I think it might have moved us up into the first round for like a better chance now because of that, because they want that depth. And I said on Sunday that I truly think the Steelers thought Dwayne Haskins had a chance of being our future. So, I mean, that could drive us to get a quarterback in the first. I would rather wait a year to when the quarterback class is going to be a lot better, in my opinion, and get one of those guys.
Did you and Ab talk a lot? Did you guys have kumbaya moments?
No, not at all. Actually, I was watching Ab on here, and I was like, just thinking about what he was saying, and some of the stuff made sense. I was like, honestly, well, if you guys want back into the first, and if he's trading Terry McLaurin, we need a receiver. Send him on over. We'll take Terry.
Yeah. So now I did read something where Pittsburgh has brought on, I think for the first time in franchise history, or at least for the first time in many, many years, an assistant quarterbacks coach.
Yeah, so I saw that. We just signed him like 2 days ago.
Yeah, so it kind of really all sounds like all signs pointing to they are trying to draft Big Ben's successor immediately. Do you think that's just coincidence, or are we drinking the tea?
Well, I think I don't think it's because we're going to draft a guy. I think they believe that. I mean, we're looking for the successor. That could be Mason Rudolph needs more coaching. It could be Mitch Trubisky. It could be we have a plan for a guy that's going to go to the 3rd like, or even the second, Carson Strong from Nevada, taking him in the second or third round and going that way. Matt Corral, as my wife keeps interjecting, because see, and here's another kind of the opposite of what I started with this all with, players that climb the boards due to need versus the talent that they had. Matt Corral was actually a first round guy for throughout the whole season, and then he got hurt and stuff, and so he his name kind of fell off, and everybody else kind of came up. So I wouldn't be mad at Matt Corral at 20, or if he fell to us at the second or something like that, because he was a first round talent guy when he was playing, and then he got hurt a little bit and kind of fell off. So I don't know. There's, like you were saying, Will, at the beginning of this, it is truly like a draft class that I have no idea like what's going on, where the talent is. Who, like you were talking about, you're right. Like I can't remember the last time I didn't know where like the top 10 guys were. Like it's always been, these are the 10. Some of them may shuffle one or two spots one way or the other, but these are the guys. Like these are the dogs in this draft, and it's not like that right now. I mean, Kyle Hamilton, I've seen taken second all the way to like 19th, and I'm like, that's just insane. I can't remember a draft like that.
Right.
Absolutely. So look, we are gonna so talk about your ideal draft. Like what does that look like for you guys? Is it staying put and just seeing what everybody else does and seeing what falls to you, or is it trading back? Is it looking for somebody specific? What is your ideal? What is your plans?
100% staying put. I wouldn't even mind moving back a little bit just to get a couple more picks. Not like too far. I don't want to drop maybe out of the first or anything, but if somebody wants to come up like 3 picks and drop us a third, fourth, or something like that, super happy with it, because there's not like a go get it guy at 20 or anything like that right now. And there's plenty of so I think our biggest need is receiver, line, D-line, and corner. I think those are our biggest hits, whereas everybody else is going to add quarterback in there, but I don't prioritize that right now with the signing of Mitch. So either staying there or even trading back a little bit would be awesome. Taking a receiver either in the first or second, I think is needed, whether it's like a Jahan Dotson in the first, or even like Jameson Williams from the Alabama in the second. I would love him. I mean, he's another guy, super talented, but towards ACL, so he's going to fall. And the Steelers are definitely synonymous for just picking up value in the later rounds, just people that drop. I mean, that's what they do. Like Pat Freiermuth last year, he was a first round talent. We were actually, the Steelers were going to take Freiermuth with our first round pick if Najee wasn't there, and it just so happened he fell all the way to us in a second round, and it was like a dream scenario where we got both guys. But they're definitely a team that doesn't trade a lot. We traded up for Devin Bush, I think 4 years ago, and the time before that, it had been like 15 years since we traded in the first round. So we don't do that a lot. So if it happens, I'm going to trust the GM and the coach and think that they know more than I do, because they do. And whatever that, if they trade up, it's for the right reason. But dream scenario is we stay put, maybe even drop back a couple spots.
I like that.
Talk to me about what you just said there. So you guys are in a very unique situation. Your general manager is picking players for a team he has going to have nothing to do with moving forward. Now, the coach is still there, so there's some continuity, but how are you feeling about that? How are you feeling about their whole offseason with this whole process? And like, I mean, are you okay with it? Do you trust Kevin Colbert, obviously, and the Rooneys and their decision making, so you're all right with it? Or is it kind of like, I mean, this guy could be like, peace out, I'm still getting paid, here's your players, deal with it.
Right, and absolutely. I 1,000% trust the organization. The Steelers, I think, are one of the top organizations in the league when it comes to managing literally the whole top to bottom. Kevin Colbert's been around a long time, highly respected. He loves the Steelers, so I don't think – I mean, his goal was to set us up with what he said was the next franchise quarterback. He said that before he signed Mitch Trubisky, so I was like, maybe he thinks that's the guy. And then now I don't know. So, but I don't want him to be like, I need to get you a quarterback before I'm out. So he kind of goes all in on that just because it's his last year and he wants to leave that legacy. But I trust him to do what's best long term, and I think Tomlin's right in there with him. And then the Rooneys always make the right decision, I feel like, or at least do their due diligence when it comes to it. And I love the process that's going on. We've interviewed over 20 guys for that spot. We're taking it slow, making sure we go through it. I would love Louis Riddick to get the gig. If it's somebody outside, there are a couple guys inside that I wouldn't mind getting. Omar Khan is, I think, top of the list right now, but he's been interviewed for a couple other GM spots and stuff. So I'm not sure if he'll be available for us. It's actually, I love the Steelers. They do their due diligence all the time. So I trust them as an organization, and the process of who they've been interviewing has been awesome to go watch and kind of research to try and hope to pick the right guy.
Yeah. It's definitely been a long process. I've been wondering, like, when are we gonna find out who's getting this job?
It's gonna be after the draft. So Colbert's supposed to be like draft and then he's done. So like, it should, hopefully we find out soon after. And like, there's no hints as to who's leading. I know we've brought in a couple for like second interviews, like Louis Riddick was on that list. Omar Khan, our guy, that's already in the organization, but there's been a couple others too. So it's going to be interesting because we've had Colbert for 22 years, I think it is. I mean, Tomlin's been our coach for 15 years, so we haven't had a lot of change there. So it's going to be different going forward to see what the new guy wants to do and how he wants to construct his roster.
Sure.
Oh, man.
So I've got a player question, ex-Steeler. It relates back to Washington.
Sure.
So I heard someone mention this the other day about a safety that is a free agent. Tell me a little bit about Edmonds. Do you think he's someone that could come back after the draft? Is that someone, if Washington needs another safety, that they could or should be pursuing? Or is it hey man, you're not as good as your brother? See ya.
So it's just funny because my wife my wife talks crap about so Terrell Edmonds was a first round pick, and he was slow coming. His first 2 years, man, it was rough. But the third year he got a little better, and this last year he balled out. He had a really good year. And so I honestly wouldn't be mad at him coming back. I mean, we didn't pick up his fifth-year option because it was slow coming and stuff, so that's why he is a free agent right now. But I think the Steelers are waiting to see if they take a safety in the draft before they re-sign him. And if for some reason he goes to Washington, I think you would be thoroughly surprised at how good he's developed, because I know a lot of people labeled him as a bust early because he didn't have the instant impact that his brother Tremaine did. And I definitely was one of those people that thought he wasn't going to be the guy. But
as your wife tells us.
Yeah, exactly. The end of his third season and this last year, he showed he can absolutely ball. He played a lot better in coverage. He was really slow in coverage and wasn't able to. He kept getting burnt. He's really good in the run already because he's a big guy. But he was lacking in coverage, and his coverage skills stepped up tremendously this last year. So I wouldn't. If you get him, I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
So he could almost potentially be that Landon Collins, Buffalo nickel type role.
100%. Yep, 100%. That's exactly who he is. Yep.
I like that. All right. So look. So we talked about early. We talked about what you're doing at 20. Talked about throughout kind of the draft. You mentioned Freiermuth, picking him up a year ago. He fell to the second. A lot of people that aren't don't dive into it as much as we do. A lot of people didn't know about Freiermuth and how good he was coming out of college. Talk to me about two guys that you're not picking up, not in the first round, but later down in the draft, that it's like that I have to have him. I want him on my team.
So if we don't go receiver in the first, I really want John Mechie. I think I said James Williams the other earlier, but I want John Mechie is the guy I think is going to fall in the second. The Alabama receiver. I would love him to get to us. He is somebody that isn't, I think, as big because he tore his ACL and didn't play last year. But to me, he's like that Jalen Waddle type. Same, and so I would love him because we got our big guy in Chase Claypool. We got our possession guy in Deontay. So I think he would pair nicely with them. There's a couple linemen I like late. The tackle from Arizona State that's going in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round-ish that I really want to get. And those are the only ones I can think of like right now.
Yeah.
But like Will said at the beginning, it's such a crazy draft that a lot of these guys that we're talking about going in the 1st, I can see falling to the 2nd, and it's like those are the guys you want. Like all these guys that are labeled top 20 picks right now that are like so fluctuating when it comes to these mocks and stuff that go from anywhere from 2 to 20 or 10 to 25, they're gonna fall in the 2nd. Like it's gonna happen. It happens every year, and those are the guys that I want to the Steelers to grab, and that's usually who they do grab.
I like that. Absolutely. My man, I can dig it, man. I can dig it. Will, you got anything else for my guy?
No, he's been great. Very insightful.
Yeah. It's not every day we bring on fans of other teams onto this show, but on behalf of Watch the Football Weekly, we wish you the best of luck this year.
Yes.
Which let's kind of collab on a trade potentially. I don't know. Hey. We'll see.
Not in the draft, but maybe
right. But in Dynasty and Fantasy, we'll work that out.
Hey,
no doubt.
I know I'm a Steelers fan, but I have picked you guys to win your division this year. It's gonna happen.
Everyone,
no doubt.
On every show.
Let's go.
Oh, no doubt.
It's not Dallas.
Yeah, we hear it in the background. We hear it. I hear it.
It ain't Dallas. Let's go.
before you. Let's get him back in here.
I know he was all. I'm the realistic fan. I'm gonna tell you guys now, and I'm like, nope. They're gonna win it. Watch. I'm telling you.
Dallas.
It is. The Cowboys are going to have a schedule they can't handle, just like we couldn't handle our schedule this year.
There you go.
Hey, in the offseason, one team has gotten better, one team has gotten worse.
They got Carson Wentz. How is that getting better?
Because their quarterback.
We're getting Debo, so it doesn't matter.
For what price? Get out of here. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned this coming weekend and next Thursday. The Ash Swintons, and my guy right here, Sydney Swinton, will be hosting the live draft show. We'll also be doing a little preview show. Let's Talk Football Sunday. Let's Talk Football in the morning, man. Definitely pay attention. Join them. It's going to be fun. A lot of good stuff's going to be on that show, and then we will actually see what's happening, who's going where, who's going to be picked in what direction, whatever. I'm excited to see it. And I'm excited to see also we're going to attempt to mesh and help out North Sports Dynasty, Alex Loosemore, Jim, Johnny Dean, those guys. Shout out to our guy, Andrew, man. This is like Christmas for some of us, ladies and gentlemen. This time of the year, we don't know what's going to happen, the anticipation. Woo, let's go. Let's go. And at the end of the day, since we know she's in the room, and I know she doesn't have that much time, but we know she has 14 seconds.
To get to the quarterback here, Prescott takes off running the football. Whoa, I don't think this is going to work out. Well, they'll be able to clock this. They were planning for it. It's down. Oh, my gosh. Oh, the official gets in the way. The game's over. Gosh. The game is over.
So everyone can know. I hate it. I hate it. I hope you make all the wrong decisions in the draft like you always do. And congratulations on going last in the division.
Let's go. Yo, but definitely tune in, guys. They will be hosting the show. I am so excited. I will be in New Orleans, but I will still be stopping in. You are not going to want to miss it. They have great analysis. They know what they're talking about. And at least one of them likes our team.
We know what we're talking about more than people who think that Washington is going to win the division.
Oh, my goodness.
What's that mute button?
Yeah, we're not doing this. We're not doing this thing. You have another 14 seconds, Ash? Because we can help you out. Yo, Sydney, my man, appreciate you hopping on here at short notice, man. I'll be talking to you soon, no doubt.
All right, guys.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, real quick, let me think. I think Nate.
He did.
Nate, you here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Real quick, we're close to end of the show. So, Nate and I will be going on later on his show, Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast, doing Mock Draft 2.0, where we will be finishing picks 17 to 32, right, Nate?
17 and 32, yes, sir.
I can dig it. Well, so, real quick, while we have you, Washington's drafted at 11. What does Washington do? And then you guys pick at 14. If I'm not mistaken. What do you guys do?
Well, Washington, I think they could draft a couple things. They could draft a receiver, they could draft a corner, safety, linebacker. I know last night I had you guys taking the Kobe Dean. If he's there, my second choice would be Kyle Hamilton. But we did the 1.0 together. I said Garrett Wilson. I mean, that's what I can see Washington really taking.
I like that.
That's really the top three positions I see Washington addressing. Because I know the Jamin Davis pick, that is more like a development pick. So he's probably going to need another year or two to really develop his game. So,
yeah, I like that. What about you guys?
With the 14th pick, I'm sticking with Trevor Panning. We got to really develop the offensive line. That was a glaring hole last year. They got to really buff up some protection around Lamar Jackson. I don't know what Ronnie Stanley, I don't know where his status is really at. But at some point, they really need to start developing it. I've seen mock drafts where they're taking Jermaine Johnson. Some guys want Derek Stingley. I've seen some interesting reaches, but it makes sense if they take Trevor Panning because
I think he's left tackle. Best. Is he a tackle?
Tackle, yeah.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, I'm looking here. Oh yeah, Northern Iowa. Yeah, man. Small school players. Love those guys.
Somebody's got an idea that maybe.
Now I was considering. I would say I was also considering Tyler Landenbaum, but I think they're going to get him. If he's there, I doubt he'll be gone by the first round. They'll probably find one like later in the draft.
I was going to ask
that in the offseason.
That's who I was going to ask. Like, really, you're going to name this guy versus, like who they say is the top interior lineman, but the fact that he's a tackle, I understand where you're going with that. Then,
yeah, with the center, they'd offer Ryan Jensen some money, but Tom Brady lured him back. The guy from Cleveland, they weren't going to go after him, so. I don't know. I mean, we got 10 picks in the draft. I know we got like 4 of them in the 4th round. So, knowing Eric DeCosta and those guys, they'll work their magic.
Must be nice,
right?
Having draft capital is very nice.
Well, dive into that a little bit. Like, what do you guys think? We talked about the first round, but what are some of the things you need to work on? Obviously, we know about. You guys in the beginning, before the season even started, you lost your top 3 running backs from a year ago. You lost Ngakoue. You lost, you know who I'm talking about.
Judon.
You lost these guys. So there's a lot of holes that we've discussed that you need to fill.
Holes,
what are
more like craters.
You want to look at later in the draft?
Craters.
Well, I mean, obviously, offensive line, pass rush, linebacker, corner. They really just need to start building some depth, really, because that was really the thing. The key last year is Baltimore had no depth last year, and I mean we're picking guys off the street, and I think this expectation that they could just catch on to the system so quickly, that just ain't going to work. So I think the biggest thing is that they're going to look. I think those are the positions they're going to address, definitely in the draft. Yeah, they just got to start. But if they build the depth, I think Baltimore will be okay. But ideally, and this is my order: offensive line, pass rush, edge, linebacker, corner, safety, interior defensive line, running back, tight end, wide receiver, but.
Now, I will, Nate, I'm going to say this because you make a very logical points, but if you're talking about building depth and you're talking about drafting an offensive lineman first, and then we're looking at interior defensive, you're not going to get a whole lot of fans in Baltimore excited about that draft. There's nobody sexy there that people in Baltimore are going to get excited about. What about finding someone who can help out Lamar?
Well, we tried that. We did that last year. That didn't work. Signing Alejandro Villanueva was a mistake. There were some other guys out there we could have signed. Eric Fisher. Then we have signed Michael Schofield. Then that didn't happen. We got somebody named, I think his name's like Knight or something, but he like took a mental break away from the game. So I don't know if it's the asking price that Baltimore's not willing to give, or maybe they're just looking at just building through the draft. Because I don't know. I mean, other than Morgan Moses, they didn't really address the offensive line. Like they're banking on Patrick McCarry, who I don't. I think he's a decent offensive lineman, but he's not really a center. I think Bradley Bozeman was your center, but let him go to Carolina on a 1-year deal. That was stupid. But
Okay.
I think you just got to look. I think you just got to just build in the draft, realistically.
That's the Raven way, man, and they're successful at it.
Yeah, but at some point, I think the Raven way, you've got to have to kind of start taking some risks. I mean, drafting is great, but if we're trying to compete for a championship, you do kind of have to take some flight risks. You do.
Are you competing for a championship with Lamar as your quarterback?
But the way this team is constructed right now,
just mess it.
Bang.
The way this team is constructed right now, no.
What was that?
The way this team is constructed right now, easily they won't get past the division.
Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't see them getting to the AFC Championship. The biggest thing is the biggest key is everyone coming back healthy. That's the first and most important thing. And then number two, like I look at teams like Buffalo, New England. I'm not sold on Cleveland. The AFC West, that's going to be a bloodbath. Like the AFC, Baltimore, they can compete, but they can't. They don't. I don't think they have the weapons. I mean, I just don't think we can. I don't know. I gotta see how it looks after the draft.
Who's taking over the division? Is it Cincy's now? Have the tides turned?
No, I think Cincinnati last year they had the benefit of being the most healthiest team in the division.
Okay.
Just like the Atlanta Hawks in basketball. I think they took advantage of a mediocre Eastern Conference. It was an off year for the AFC, for the Ravens and Steelers. Like no one expected 20 plus guys going IR, and no one expected the Steelers to play like that.
Yeah.
The Browns are the Browns, so.
Yeah, and nobody expected you guys with all the injuries you had in mid-season to be 8-3 and leading the entire AFC. I guarantee nobody would have really called that with all the things you had to deal with. And you alluded to earlier that you were looking for depth, looking deeper in the draft. Is there anybody that you have eyes on that you're not looking in the first round, but you're looking deeper into the draft and saying, hey, we need this guy to fill a role? Or is it everybody? Is it just depth? Is it just best player available? Is there anybody you got your eyes on?
If he's there, David Ojabo.
Oh, okay. The Michigan.
If he's there. But I feel like somebody will take him in the second round, or if not late first round.
Okay.
They do need to develop the linebacking core, but besides Tyus Bowser, Patrick Queen, Malik Harrison, like we got to stop signing guys like the "what have you done for me lately"s. Like we need to get younger at those positions. You know what I'm saying? Like we signed Josh Burns again, who's a good role player, but gotta get younger.
Yeah.
If you're trying to win, you got to get younger, not sign guys like Justin Houston, who's still be effective, but nah.
I love that. I love that suggestion. Anybody else?
Not that I can think of. because mostly everybody that I see that would be good fits will all probably be gone. There is a center. He's out of Brown University. I can't think of his name. Alex something.
Mm-hmm.
He could possibly be a good fit.
What about our boy from Maryland, that tight end?
Oh, he would be a good fit. I could see that.
Wow. Homer is anybody? Get out of here, man.
Oh, well, look at you and your Tar Heels junk. Come on.
Don't worry about my Tar Heels, all right? Call me when you guys come back to the
Cross would be
ACC, all right?
Yeah, Nick Cross. Yep. Sean likes him too. Sean wants him to come to DC.
Nope. I'm reading that at all.
You know what my favorite part about Nick Cross? This is it. When he went to so Washington held a locals only pro day for all players that are either from the DC area or if you went to a school in Maryland, Virginia, so to come back here and they'll host a chance for scouts to come and play there. So Nick Cross posted it maybe on Instagram, something like that. But where it's not him doing it, but when he said, "This is where I'm at," he tagged his location. It's still called Redskins Park.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir.
He a Terp. He needs to be a Skin.
We're not gonna be the Washington Terps, all right?
Well, it's okay to be the Washington Tar Heels.
Yeah. Yes, we will. Sam Howell will be coming in the 4th round. Thank you kindly. All right.
Listen, I keep saying this about Maryland football. They produce skilled players, wide receivers and corners. You're kind of safe. I mean, you got
Did you not see us in the Stripe Bowl, Sean?
Say again?
Did you not see us in the Stripe Bowl?
I was too busy watching South Carolina run up and down on us in the Belk Bowl. So
that's right. That's right. You got mayonnaise all over.
I don't even want to talk about the Stripe Bowl. I don't want to talk about it.
Speaking of South Carolina, that's a great segue, Sean. That is. Hey, Nate, you mind reminding me who is the 2022 national champions in women's basketball?
Oh, that would be the Lady Gamecocks.
That's right.
Now, people get mad over you saying that, by the way.
Who, me?
They are not called the Lady Gamecocks. And the fact that people keep putting lady in front of their name has gotten people upset down here.
Really?
The Gamecocks are the women's basketball team. There's been thoughts that you're demarginalizing women by calling lady this, lady that.
Really?
I didn't know that. I promise you I didn't know that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah, I've had to defend you guys, to the internet trolls several times for the last couple of weeks. So you're welcome. I'm making that part up, Nate.
I was like,
my apologies to the South Carolina Gamecocks basketball community. Like, that's no disrespect intended.
Yeah.
No. Matter of fact, you need to go ahead and apologize to the whole Carolina area. To sit here and say North Carolina and South Carolina are the same is blasphemy.
Well, South Carolina is the same as all country.
Watch them out. Because Maryland could be all country.
Okay.
He does have, as a net resident of the Palmetto State, he does have a little bit of a point. It's very, very rural in most of the state.
Let's go. Yo. Hey, it is what it is. We are represented very well here. South Carolina, North Carolina, Maryland, Northern Virginia, the whole thing. Got to shout out Nathan Snell. Like I said before, he will be going on a little bit later. I will be hopping on there with him doing the mock 2.0 mock draft, and we will be going 17 through 32, figuring out where we will end up, where some of these guys will end up, some of the guys that we're looking at, who's falling out of the first round. Definitely something you're going to want to watch, so definitely stay tuned for that. Coming on at 10:30?
Yes, sir.
I can dig it. I can dig it. So, Mr. Nathan Snell, man, we want to tell you, man, we appreciate you coming on here as a Ravens fan and a astute Washington fan.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to join you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think this has the making of a good NFL draft class,
Hmm.
in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. Let's see if you're right or not. I can dig it. All right, man. I will see you soon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
All right, Nate.
Woo-wee. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gotten through it. We have talked to 4 different people talking about their team, our team, figuring out where we're going to go in the draft. All of this is speculation because once it becomes draft night, all this stuff goes out the window. Who knows who's going to go first? We've been trying to predict it. We've been trying to say this guy, that guy, da. I think some good points were made. One of them being that all these people that in the combine who have been moving up, we got to make sure, we got to see, are they really that legit, you know? And all these people that have injuries. He talked about Joe Boo. We talked about Jameson Williams, who have just had these late injuries and now they're coming back. Do you go ahead and get those guys and just bank on what you know they can do? Or do you take into effect that injury and go for something that you need right now? Mm-hmm. It's going to be quite interesting, man. And Will, I look forward to kind of hearing our final little 2 cents about it because it's getting close to crunch time, man.
We get the last day before this goes.
Yeah.
We get to go through and say, okay, this is what it is. This is what we're doing. The final rumors, everything. It's going to be good.
I can dig it. Appreciate that. Is that my guy? Is that Eric Kelly still? Is he still in the room?
Did he just chat?
Let me check. Oh, I hopped out there. I'll check that in a little bit. Yo, I can dig it. I appreciate that. Do you see it?
I didn't see who said it, but that was very kind of him.
That was nice. Appreciate that. We love doing this. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we have to go ahead and get off here. I have to working double duty tonight. I'm gonna hop off here and get a quick little drink and then hop back onto Nate's gig. Do a little 2.0 talking drafts. We've been talking drafts for about a month, 2 months now, and it's not stopping. It's just gonna get even more this next week. So stay tuned for that. Will, you got anything else, man?
It's my bedtime. Yeah, Connor's going to wake up in the next hour and need to be fed. Guarantee it.
I can dig it, man. I can dig it. Yes, sir. One thing I did want to do really quickly before we get off here, wanted to shout out Villanova's old coach, Jay Wright, just left. And I heard they already hired a new guy. As a matter of fact, where is it? Yeah, they hired Kyle Neptune.
Who?
Yeah, Fordham's old coach. Yeah, so I didn't see that coming to have, Jay Wright leave. For those of you who don't know, head coach of Villanova won 2 national championships in 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. He beat North Carolina when he played us in 2016, 4.7 seconds on the clock. Chris Jenkins just nails it. You want to talk about an array of emotion. The Kansas game was one thing because I didn't expect us to be there. That year, I thought we was studs. And to have it that way, and shout out to him. He's a great coach. Got another one, I believe, 2 years later. So, hey, this surprises us all. Best of luck to him. I don't know if he's going to retire fully or go somewhere else, but best of luck to him, man. He definitely brought Villanova back, put them back on the map.
Huge. He was amazing there. Yeah. Now all those players that he recruits from the DC area, they coming to be a Terp.
Oh no! Hey, if you want to go to a natty, go ahead and come to North Carolina. We're going back.
I can't argue that.
Yeah. Let's go. Yo, we have got to let you go, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you guys staying here with us. Eric, Ab, Jack, Nathan, Sydney, all of you guys that came on, Kate, all of you guys that watched us. We really appreciate you taking the time to do that. And we look, get ready for the draft. Get ready for the shows that we have coming this week. Tomorrow night, Let's Talk Football Ladies Takeover. They're going to be doing the same thing, talking the draft from the ladies' perspective. Let's Talk Football in the morning or on Sunday. Next week, we have, good gracious. We have this show again. Next week, I got to talk to you about that because I will be going out of town. So I do want to talk to you about that.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Sounds good.
We might pre-record on that one. But okay. Yeah, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let you go. I'm also, the producer's also giving me the wrap it up signal. So you know what time it is.
Enjoy that etouffee next week, man. I'm so jealous.
I will, man. I will. I'm going to get some heat. Oh, it's going to be nice. Yo, so hey, I'm Sean Spencer. This is my guy, Mr. Will Kramer. We will see you guys next week. Peace, people.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The line. The line.